My name is Emily Lawton. I am a parent and infant relational health specialist at the Center for Autism and Early Childhood Mental Health at Montclair State University. This presentation today is on attachment and early relational health. We will be spending a little bit of time talking about infant mental health and early relational health, early brain development, responsivity, sensitivity and attunement, co-regulation, and serve and return. The first 1,000 days is a topic that's become really important in the last couple of years. It really captures the time of conception of a baby's development in utero all the way to the second year of life. It is a time when a brain, body, and immune system is growing and developing significantly. Research shows that 80% of a child's brain development occurs within the first 1,000 days of life. The greatest period of brain development is from the last trimester of pregnancy through the first years of life and is deeply influenced by interactions and relationships. That will really be the focus of our talk today, how important those relationships are for early brain development and for early security and all the development that happens after that. So early relational health, pardon me while I read this, is the state of emotional well-being that grows from emotional connection between babies and toddlers and their parents and caregivers when they experience strong, positive, and nurturing relationships with each other. That is from nurtureconnection.org. Infant and early childhood mental health, which is the field that I come from, is really about promoting 5 themes. Early experiences matter to all future learning and connecting. Development occurs through foundational relationships, so those primary relationships, mom, dad, grandparents, foster parents, adoptive parents. Experiences of repair build relational resilience, and culture and context organize relationships and development. The core story of child development comes from the National Scientific Council on the Developing Child. Early experiences in life build brain architecture. We know this, brains are built from the bottom up. Children develop in an environment of relationships. We're going to hear this a lot today. Genes and environments interact to shape the architecture of the brain. Cognitive, emotional, and social capacities are inextricably intertwined. Toxic stress and adverse experiences can derail healthy child development, and brain plasticity and the ability to change behavior decrease over time. So the earlier we can make adjustments and provide early intervention in these positive relationships, the better. Earlier experiences and relationships matter. The newborn's brain grows 3 times in size by the time a baby is 2. So it goes from 333 grams to almost 1,000 grams. There is huge brain development, as you will see in this slide. Relational foundations of development. Newborns begin life ready for relationships. A newborn baby's brain is structured to be in relationships and is capable of making connections from the very start. Babies are really, their brains are primed to be in connection. Babies are really looking for human connection, facial contact, eye contact, facial expressions. Babies who are healthy and full term need to be with people who care for them, people who like them. An infant and young child's basic needs, safety is the most important, emotional and physical safety, security, regulation, and social interaction with a responsive partner. Early brain development. The brain is hardwired for connection and imitation. A newborn baby's brain is co-constructed. That means that the brain is developing at the same time that a baby is being cared for through interactive experience with sensitive and responsive caregivers. Babies are built to respond to affect, gestures, and facial expressions. Infants have attachment behaviors. These are really beautiful behaviors that are built into an infant's everyday ways of being. Clinging, crying, smiling, gazing, and crawling all function to keep a baby in close proximity to the people who care for them and keep them safe. Infants and children seek access to their caregiver to feel secure and comforted. So particularly when a baby is afraid or if a baby is hurt, a baby or a toddler, that baby will seek out their attachment figure for comfort, for care, and for safety. Attachment is being formed in the first 18 months of life. That's really key. Those early 1.5 to 2 years is really the time when a baby is forming those primary attachments between a child and his or her primary caregivers. Relationships are the cornerstone for all development. We know that it is the most important thing for a baby and for a young child to have these strong, nurturing relationships. Secure, safe, responsive relationships are powerfully stress buffering. It means that the stronger and more nurturing a relationship is, the more protection that will provide a child with down the road as they grow and as they come up against any sort of stress, relationships are the component that are essential for brain development as the core for emotional security. Early relational health, communication, language, and behavior emerge from early emotional relationships, right? So all development is unfolding from these relationships. Early disruption in these relationships can result in disruptions in development. It can be seen through behavior, through language, play, or other symbolic expressions. Responsive relationships can provide repair and restoration. Again, they're stress buffering. So if we have responsive relationships, even if there has been a disruption in a young child's relationship, the repair and restoration will really provide much goodness to a young child. Caregiving is a relationship that leads to a specific attachment that begins in pregnancy and is a powerful reminder of the caregiver's own childhood experiences. Early relational health promotes caregiver competence and caregiver well-being. Sensitive and responsive care lead to secure attachment. We know that the more enriching, sensitive, and responsive interactions a child has, the stronger the connections will be in an infant's brain. We know that now because of huge advances in medical technology. We can see that these connections are very strong and permanent when babies are receiving strong, sensitive, responsive care. A safe relationship wires the brain in an organized, efficient way and sets the stage for self-regulation, which we'll talk a lot about later, moral development and learning. Many studies report links between sensitive and responsive interactions with mothers and fathers and improved cognitive outcomes. So we're going to talk a little bit about serve and return interactions, which are really the sort of bulk of the sensitive and responsive caregiving. So serve and return is just how it sounds. It's like a tennis game between a parent and a child. They're back and forth interactions with the baby and child. They're interactive games. They're really just back and forth joyful moments. They don't have to be a specific it doesn't have to be specific time set aside. It can be interactions during a diaper change or during feeding. A baby will serve to you through gestures such as smiling, reaching out, eye contact, and you will return the favor, essentially, return the serve to the baby by speaking back, playing games, and pointing to what they are looking at. That shared attention is so, so important for young children's development. To make the most of serve and return interactions, caregivers need to be well regulated, attuned to the child, able to reflect on the child's cues and interactions, and reflect on their own experience of the interaction. A child's environment is their relational environment, right? It's those relationships between the people who love them and care for them. An environment rich in eye contact, conversation, presence, touch, playfulness, all beautiful things that help little people to grow. The Circle of Security, which I'm referencing here, is a wonderful training that some of you may be interested in looking into. It's an attachment-based early relational health training. There is a mantra that comes from Circle of Security that I find to be really helpful in my work. Almost everything I need to know about being a parent in 25 words or less. Always be bigger, stronger, wiser, and kind. Whenever possible, follow your child's lead. Whenever necessary, take charge. Everyday moments is really an important concept about just making sure that we're taking advantage of the time we're spending with our children. Again, it doesn't have to be specialized playtime. It can be during feeding, during bathing, during getting ready for bed. Attachment is built through play and nurturing interaction with a safe and responsive adult. Again, that safety is really key. At the foundation of interactive play are the repeated and consistent serve and return interactions between caregiver and baby. We know that research has shown that babies who receive lots of delight are more cooperative 2-year-olds, and being delighted in speeds up brain growth and self-esteem. Everybody likes to be delighted in. I'm just sharing a very brief little video about a small baby being delighted in moments of shared joy. Back to serve and return for a quick minute. Caregivers can manage arousal levels. This is called regulation, when we manage our own calm and help to share our calm with small children and babies who we're caring for or working with. Emotional connection is needed during stress. Infants and young children can feel our affective experience through our emotions, gestures, and expressions. Because infants don't yet have verbal abilities, they're really attuned to our tone of voice, our gestures, our eye contact, the way in which we're sort of behaving in their company without using words. Babies are really, really attuned to that. There's a wonderful image about how to co-regulate, providing warm, responsive relationship structuring the environment, and teaching self-regulation skills. Co-regulation is when two individuals are in sync with each other, allowing each individual to up or down regulate and the other to be calm and engaged. It's the way in which babies and children are able to calm their emotions to be ready for social interaction and also for learning. So we simplify our language, we slow our actions, we match the child's affect, we reflect on the child's emotional intent, we modulate for the situation, we listen with both our eyes and ears, we wait for the child to initiate, and we join the child in their intent. When their storm meets our calm, co-regulation occurs. It's really an important part of being a grown-up with young children is helping them to regulate their emotions. What do we mean when we say attachment? Attachment is designed and evolved to keep babies and children safe. It enables the child to seek proximity to their caregiver in times of distress as the child seeks out comfort and safety and security. Caregivers over time provide emotional availability, nurturance, protection, and comfort, and this creates the sense of felt security, leading to secure attachment. It happens over time. It's not just a one-stop shop. It really is a relationship that develops over repeated interactions and experiences with a caregiver. Capacities in the caregiving adults to facilitate an attachment relationship include regulation, attunement, and reflection. The essence of a secure attachment is I feel safe and I feel loved and there is someone there for me. The attachment relationship between an infant and his caregiver is among the single most important factor in a child's growth and development. All babies and children want to feel known, want to be cared for by somebody who really knows their ways of being. Attunement, caregivers match the intensity and shape of an infant's response through gestures, tone of voice, or facial expression. Attunement is not mimicking, it is reflecting and mirroring. Attunement allows a baby to feel seen and worthy of love, beginnings of getting to know themselves. I have a quick little video of attunement that I will share for you.
Hi, babies. How are you? Yeah, what do you see? I know. Yeah, it's a fun thing. Yeah.
The benefits of secure attachment. After more than 50 years of research, we know that the more secure children are, the more they are able to have higher self-esteem, trust the people they love, get along better with friends, have lasting friendships, have better relationships with brothers and sisters, enjoy more happiness with their parents, know how to be kind to those around them, right? The feeling of being loved is that you then love yourself and you know how to love others. It's as simple as that. Sensitive responsive caregiving is a buffer to stress, and a secure attachment can protect against later trauma.